Now, for our next guest, considered the greatest novelist in the Victorian era, Charles Dickens, everybody! Oh, man, is it good to be back, Jimmy. My goodness, how long has it been? Too long. Oh, thank you so much for being here. I see you got a trim. Yep, it's sad to see it go, I will admit. It's a nice little cozy thing in the winter, but it's almost summertime, you know? I mean, I had to get it trimmed, correct? Too true. It's coming up soon, it is. Now, I've been reading your new book, Tale of Two Cities. Of course, on the surface, it's a great book. But when you really dig deep, there are a lot of underlying themes. And I was curious as to what you deem the most important for the world to know. You got millions watching. What do you want them to know? You know, there are a lot of good themes in this book, but the one that meant most to me personally was probably society and class. You know, that was a huge part of the pre-writing. I really wanted to get society and class into the book in some way possible. You know, it was really important to me. Now, what does the book say about society and class? The best way to put it would be that society defines people by putting them into classes at birth so that society can decide who gets the upper hand later in life. But that doesn't mean that you can't break out of that mold that society puts you in at some point in your life to change not only you, but your entire country, as seen in the book. Now, how did you develop that theme? What were some of the characters and events that helped the reader picture these class struggles? Well, I hope everyone watching has read the book, because I might have to spoil some of the... Yeah, that'll be okay. We'll put something above someone's head that'll say, "Mute, because you're stupid and haven't read this awesome book." I would say that the Marquis and the Monsignor show how lots of people who are born into wealth and high class are generally ignorant of other people's problems, especially if it doesn't directly hurt them. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have the commoners who are treated like dirt by the upper class society and can't really do anything for them. But I think that's what's so special about this book. That this power struggle between these two polar opposite classes leads to the biggest event in the French Revolution, which was the storming of the Bastille. And this really was the tipping point in this power struggle, and it completely shifts it. It turns France upside down. The peasants are now on top. The aristocracy is now in the Bastille, and things begin to really change. And I think this relates back to this point about how just because you're put into a class that may not have anything doesn't mean you can't get out of it. All you need is some resiliency and something to drive you. Whew. That is some deep stuff. Now, do you have like a favorite line from the book that shows class struggle? Yeah, there's this line about the over-the-topness of the Monsignor's lifestyle. And it goes like this. "Yes, it took 4 men, all 4 ablaze with gorgeous decoration, and the chief of them unable to exist with fewer than 2 gold watches in his pocket, emulative of the noble and chaste fashion set by Monsignor to conduct the happy chocolate to Monsignor's lips." And the reason I love this one so much is because there's another quote about some peasants drinking there was a broken wine barrel in the streets, and they're basically drinking it, and it's describing that. And I love the contrast between the peasants drinking and Monsignor drinking. And I'll read that right here. "Some men kneeled down, made scoops with their 2 hands, and sipped, or tried to help women. She bent over their shoulders to sip, before the wine had all run out between their fingers." And I just love that contrast between the two, and it really does speak to the theme of society and class. We're going to take a quick break here, but when we're back, Charles and I are going to have a lip sync battle for the ages.